So we hear it all the time, right? AI is going to solve our biggest external problems. But what about the problem it might create inside of us? Today, we're going to dig into how we can hold on to our sense of meaning and purpose in a world that's on the verge of being completely reshaped by artificial intelligence.
To really get a handle on this, you need a map of the future. And with AI, it looks like it's going to happen in three huge leaps. Right now, we're living in the age of ANI, or artificial narrow intelligence. You know all the generative AI we see today? That's it. But then, around 2030, the prediction is we'll see AGI, artificial general intelligence, an AI that can think and reason like a person. And then comes the true game changer, ASI, or artificial superintelligence, possibly around 2040, an intellect that's just way beyond anything human. This timeline is the backdrop for everything we're about to talk about.
And that timeline leads us to this question. For basically all of human history, life has been about one thing: survival. But what happens when ASI can take care of all that? When there's enough food, energy, everything for everyone? Well, that whole drama just ends. And suddenly, humanity is face to face with maybe the deepest psychological question we've ever had to ask ourselves. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because this creates a huge paradox. On one hand, having ASI solve all our material needs is the ultimate freedom after thousands of years of struggle. But on the other hand, it creates a brand new, deeply personal challenge: the real risk of losing our purpose when there are no more problems left to solve. Think about it. For centuries, what's motivated us? It's been external stuff, right? A good salary, a high-status job, security for our family. But in a world powered by ASI, those things just start to dissolve. The whole focus shifts from earning a living to earning a reason to live. The new game is all about intrinsic motivation. And that's the real heart of the matter. You know, everyone talks about job loss, but that might be missing the point. The much deeper risk is purpose loss. When you take away the core struggles that have defined human life for so long, you can be left with this existential vacuum, just a feeling of emptiness, of being completely adrift. Okay, so how do we even begin to navigate this new world? Well, the good news is we're not starting from scratch, not even close. Decades of psychology have actually given us a fantastic toolkit for building a meaningful life from the inside out. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Our first tool is something called self-determination theory from psychologists Jesse and Ryan. This is so fundamental because it pinpoints three psychological needs that are hardwired into every single one of us. If you can meet these needs, you unlock powerful, genuine motivation. And that is going to be the main currency of a happy life in the future. First step, autonomy. This is simply the feeling that you are the one driving the bus. You're the author of your own story. You're doing things because you choose to, not because you're being forced to. And in a world with way fewer external pressures, being able to consciously direct your own life, that becomes absolutely crucial. Second on the list is competence. This is that amazing feeling you get when you're learning something new, when you feel yourself getting better at it, when you really feel effective. Even if an AI can do something perfectly in an instant, the joy you get from the struggle, from the learning, from that sense of mastery, that is a powerful source of well-being that no AI can ever give you. And number three is relatedness. This is our basic, fundamental human need to connect with other people, to care for them, and to feel cared for. This is the stuff that makes us human, right? Love, belonging, that's the foundation of a good life, no matter what the technology looks like. Now, let's add another tool to our kit. The PERMA model from psychologist Martin Seligman gives us 5 pillars for designing our own happiness. P is for positive emotion, but we're talking about awe and wonder, not just cheap thrills. E is for engagement, getting so lost in something you love that time disappears. That's flow. R is for relationships, cherishing that deep, wonderfully inefficient time with the people you love. M is for meaning, by contributing to something bigger than yourself. And A is for accomplishment. But, and this is a big but, it's about personal growth, not comparing yourself to others. This massive shift also means we have to rethink some really cool concepts, like the Japanese idea of ikigai, your reason for being. You might have seen the Venn diagram: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Well, in this future, that last circle, what you can be paid for, just vanishes. What's left is a much purer, more beautiful idea of purpose, where just being curious and exploring what you love becomes the absolute highest form of play.
Okay, this all sounds great, but let's be real. It can also feel a little abstract, a little far away. So the question is, how do we start building this kind of inner strength right here, right now? Here are 3 things you can literally start doing today. First, learn to love the process. When an AI can spit out a perfect result in a second, the real human value is in the messy, beautiful journey of trial and error. Second, embrace mindfulness. As the world gets more digital, being able to ground yourself in your own body, the taste of your coffee, the feeling of the sun on your skin, that becomes your anchor. And third, find joy in contribution. The psychologist Erickson had a great word for this, generativity. It's the simple act of sharing what you know and helping guide the next generation. It is a timeless, powerful source of fulfillment. When you put all this together, what you realize is that this transition is redefining our very role as a species. We're not problem solvers in the old sense anymore. We're evolving into something completely new. And it might boil down to a simple formula for the future. If ASI is the engine that provides all the answers, our new job is to ask the best questions. We become meaning weavers. Our well-being is going to come from a combination of our curiosity and our connections, minus that old toxic instinct for comparison. That's the new math for a fulfilling life.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. In a future where material comfort is a given, the only gap that's really going to matter isn't the one in your wallet, but the one in your own imagination. The real measure of a good life will be the richness of the story you choose to weave for yourself. The answers are coming. The only thing left to do is to decide on your questions.